kind of company. Your kind of company.
Tonight on CTV3 News, San Francisco Roman Catholic School targeted by thieves yet again. Playground installed at the Sandy Hunter Library is vandalized. And SFXCU Board of Directors and suspended General Manager Rafael Dominguez comes out swinging at the Governor of Central Bank. These are some of the stories we have for you tonight in our newscast for Tuesday, March 14th, 2023.
I am ready. You are getting the new and improved me. This is nice.
I think what really impressed him was the fact that I didn't turn into a monster.
Bring on the heat! Start up the gunfire! Weapon of death!
It's about a relationship that hopefully many people can relate to.
Enjoy your favorite HBO original series and movies with
Centaur, your kind of company.
Sign up for Smart Share Plan and save big. Whether you're a small entrepreneur starting up your business, a student on a limited budget, or a family trying to save, this is the plan for you. With unlimited SMS, calls, and data, we help you save. Get up to 5 lines for as low as $30 per line monthly, only with Smart. Sign up today at any Smart showroom or sales manager countrywide. So get your business going, share more memories with friends, and be ready for the day with Smart.
This is our best chance to find a habitable planet.
You're shooting the bullet. You're catching it.
Arrakis is a death trap.
Enjoy your favorite HBO original series and movies with
Centaur, your kind of company.
Belize, are you ready for Jesus Fest 2023? The End Times Revival, March 17th and 18th, starting at 6 p.m. Invited guest Pastor Paul Dougherty from the USA.
Hey, listen, the weather's gonna change. Listen, I know it's stormy seas out there, but there's light at the end of this storm. The sun will come out tomorrow. God's going to do something in your future. He's not finished with you yet. Somebody say, this is not how it ends.
Casa Worship Band from Belmopan, Pastor Vicente Franco from Mexico, Psalmist from Orange Walk, Beverly Shiloh. This event will take place at Arthur Street in Orange Walk, in front of Orange Walk Market. Special gifts will be provided. Sponsors, Victory Church from Tulsa, Oklahoma, USA, Hope Alive, Stereo Luz, CVM Church, Pastores y Ministros Amigo del Reino,
Koinonia Ministries.
Buses will be provided for villages. For more information, contact us at 661-7324. Jesus Fest 2023. See you there.
Indulge the flavor. Go beyond meat. Looks like meat. Tastes like meat. But it's better than meat. 100% plant-based. Rich in protein, 50% less saturated fat, no GMOs, no added soy, packed with benefits and sustainable. Beyond meat, good for you, good for the environment. Now available in 6 different types of products in Belize. Beyond Burger, Beyond Sausage, Beyond Beef, Beyond Chicken Nuggets, Beyond Chicken Tenders, Beyond Steak, Beyond Meat, distributed by United Distributors Limited.
LG dual inverter compressor cools air faster by operating at speeds as high as 120 Hz with more stability compared to conventional models. It also saves up to 70% more energy by operating at speeds as low as 10 Hz with more stability. It reduces torque vibration down to 40% for quiet outdoor unit operation. Stable operation with low vibrations also results in increased durability.
Smart introduces Real Unlimited postpaid plans, providing customers with unlimited talk, unlimited text, and unlimited data. Now that's a real great deal. With Smart Plus, Share 1 and 2, and Enterprise 1 and 2 plans, you can talk as much as you want, text as much as you want, and for the first time ever in Belize, you can enjoy unlimited data with your postpaid plan. So come in and sign up for an unlimited postpaid plan and enjoy limitless possibilities. In addition, other plans such as the Flex Junior, Choice, and Select have been boosted with a lot more talk, text, and data, providing you with the best value for your budget. Be unlimited with Smart. It's time to power your dollar with Smart.
At Smart, we embrace change, innovation, and equality. From energy and transport to telecommunications and network technology, our females are bringing their own style of leadership to traditionally male-dominated sectors and breaking down barriers for the next generation. Therefore, fostering our women's sense of self-worth, her decision-making power, her access to opportunities and resources is at the forefront at SMART. SMART celebrates all women this Women's Month under the theme Digital Innovation and Technology for Gender Equality.
Good evening with your news, also simulcast on Fiesta FM 106.7. I am Joanna Rodriguez. The San Francisco RC School in Orange Walk Town has constantly been targeted by thieves, and over the weekend and as recently as last night, the institution fell victim to criminals once more. Today, classes had to be postponed for this afternoon after teachers arrived this morning, only to be welcomed by ransacked classrooms, offices, snack shop, and computer laboratory, which were broken into. The situation immediately prompted a visit to the police station, where its principal, Teodora Toledano, filed a report. All indications are that the criminals were looking for cash, and while they did get their hands on a small amount, the school now needs to foot a bill of $700 to repair broken locks and windows. Stolen from the institution were one computer valued at $1,100, $200 worth of ruffled chips, a speaker valued at $100, and about $110 in cash.
Well, I think that the culprits are after money. Basically, not much was taken, but destruction we have to fix.
How was this right?
The door locks, the window of the snack shop, the screen door was cut of the main office. All-in-one computer was stolen too. And yesterday also they came in and they took a speaker from a teacher and also some monies. Minor, but then still, there they are. They stole like about maybe $50, but from different teachers. It can be more.
When you said different teachers, you're saying different teachers' classrooms or from them themselves?
From the classrooms. From the classrooms. It's the monies that they have been collecting. I don't know from or for what, no? But we are having class trips. Soon we will be having class trips. So I don't know if it's monies from those sources, I don't know.
The constant invasion of the school has left the administration looking for alternatives to secure the area, since in the past the camera wires were cut and the DVR was retrieved by the criminals. But why is the school being targeted? We squared that question to the school's principal, and here is her response.
We have 7 cameras. The last time when they broke in, they cut off the cables. They stole the DVR. They cut off the alarm system. So I don't know if we are dealing with experts that they know where to look for.
That would have been my follow-up question. Do you think it's people who know how the school is set out?
Maybe they might know, or they have already visited the school. I don't know.
Would you say maybe it's somebody who, has already come in here, has taken a good look at what is, and that kind of stuff? Where did they gain entrance, even at the school?
I may not know, because nobody has been found. The last time, that was 2.5 years ago, they went away with some 11 computer sets, and we managed to recover those. So I don't know.
Why your school?
If you notice all around, we do not have a lot of neighbors. It's like lonely, isolated. It's isolated. So there are not much people, like I would say. If we put a neighborhood watch, who will be those watching? All around, we have people, but then some of them are not our parents. Some of them are houses that are being rented, and people that are not the owners are living in there.
So, and your school plans to employ 1 or 2 watchmen?
It is very difficult. It is very difficult for us to, and it is mature for me to tell you that. I cannot tell you that. We need to really look into that and see what is the best solution for our problem.
The unwelcome situation in the past 48 hours has prompted the school to find new measures to secure property. If you have knowledge of who the culprits are, you are asked to contact your nearest police station by calling 911. Also be aware that purchasing stolen goods can land you at the well-known Hatterville prison to spend time in a cell block. It took a lot of money, time, and effort to provide a new facelift to the Sandy Hunter Library playground, but just minutes to destroy it. We found that only a couple weeks after it was rehabilitated, this weekend the playground was vandalized by an unknown person or persons. The situation did not sit well with John Burgos, who spearheads the Rotary Club of Orange Walk District 4250. Today he gave us his views on the incident.
We have always been building several playgrounds all over town, from primary schools to different nature parks. And the Sandy Hunter was one of the projects that we did some years ago, about 6 or 7 years ago. And then last month we decided to come and give it a little repainting job so that it can last longer. And then now we become aware this weekend that over the weekend someone came and stole one of the swings, and the person tried to steal the other one, but it seems that they wasn't unable to retrieve it. So we want to make a plea to the public that if anybody's out there selling a swing, for them to either return it to the Sandy Hunter Library or to the police, because we will be making a report today so that we want to know who are the people that cannot respect the hard work of the Rotary Club, which also reflects the support of the community, because all the fundings that we get is through donations and fundraisers that this community supports. So it's really unfortunate to see that our resources are not taken care of or respected by certain individuals within the community. Well, we know that they have the various programs. The librarian, Mrs. Carrillo, does a very good job in having a lot of storytelling, reading programs, tutoring programs. So, these playgrounds, when there's time for a break, this is where the kids come out and distract themselves and relax a little bit. So we complement what they're trying to do.
We also spoke to Sandy Hunter's librarian, who is appalled by the act of bad faith. She says the swings are there for the children to have a space of enjoyment when visiting the library, and is seeking the public's help in identifying the perpetrators.
It was so frustrating that the swings were not here yesterday, and one was stolen and the other one was partially halfway. So we took that one down. So it's very frustrating that a couple of weeks ago as well, it's just a simple flower pot, but for us it's a lot, because that's what makes our library inside look beautiful. And now without the playground, without the swing, as you may see right now, we have children and they don't have nowhere to swing now.
Whoever caused the damage apparently had no fear that the situation unfolded opposite of the Orange Walk Magistrates Court and almost next to the police station.
We are in front of the police station, and yes, and a report has been done, and nothing. I don't think we will get any answers on who took it or whatever. So I'm asking, if you pass around the library and you see people are not taking care of what is yours, which is the library, I always say the library is for all of us. Take care of it, or just tell them don't take it because the children won't benefit from it then.
Is it something that has been happening over time, or is it just two incidents that happened just recently?
No, this have happened before, because one of the swings were stolen a couple of, I can say maybe 2 years ago. So there was a good Samaritan, a patron came in and saw the need for another swing to be put back. And the parent came in only last year summer, and he placed it, he personally bought the chains, he did the complete little swing, Mr. Blanco. To come and yesterday to find out that it was stolen, and it's so frustrating now, and the children came in this morning saying, hey, ¿adónde está el swing? Because you know a playground has a swing and there's no swing here.
We're going to be reaching out to the police department, hopefully that they can do, I know it's not a serious scam, but it's something that we cannot left unpunished, and we hope that we can either hear from the public or that the police finds who is responsible and that we can get it fixed as soon as possible.
In order to secure the area, the administration of the library is seeking to fence premises.
Well, let me tell you, the swing maybe is not one of the major problems. Well, it is one, but we have also had a number of homeless people coming in and actually sleeping at the back of our library, and we have had plants there, and they have been stealing the plants. And the plants are what the children had grown during the summer, and now they actually make it feel like, yes, we always push for sustainability, but let the children enjoy it first, or the parents that come and assist, let them enjoy. Not somebody that's homeless, not somebody that has a mental problem, for goodness sake. I am shouting out, I don't know who else can hear me right now, that we are in need of a fence here at our library. Having a fence will make even life a little much better for what is for the library and what is for the inn. For everyone, but we can take care of it if we had a fence right here, a nice fence. So anybody out there in the community would love to assist us to make a fence a reality. We are more than welcome for a fence to be done. Or you can call us here at our library at 302-2167. Let's fix and make a fence for our library, your library, your library.
The Rotary Club of Orange Walk District 4250 has compromised to work along with the Sandy Hunter Library to restore the playground and find a way to assist with the fencing of the library. The Board of Directors of the St. Francis Xavier Credit Union and suspended General Manager of the Credit Union, Rafael Dominguez Sr., held a press conference today to speak on the appointment of an administrator at the credit union, the relief of their duties and power, moves made by the Central Bank Governor and Registrar of Credit Unions, Kareem Michael. The decision was taken according to the Registrar after an investigation into the credit union uncovered, and we quote, critical deficiencies in governance and risk management practices, as well as material weaknesses in internal controls that could destabilize the credit union. With those findings submitted by the Office of Sean Mahler, Governor Michaels appointed Martin Marshall-Leck as administrator of the credit union effective March 10, 2023. But according to the now suspended general manager of the credit union, deficiencies uncovered by the report, including one of fraudulent activities, took place prior to him and the current board of directors being reinstated by the membership of the credit union back in June of 2022.
Deficiencies were already there, and they were communicated 22 default at that time. And the central bank did not move a finger for the past board to correct those deficiencies. Nevertheless, coming in office right after June, we were sanctioned with examination and also with the investigation of the Shambhala, which were both entities that were at the credit union for almost 2 months. And right after that, in September, they expected us to start remedying all deficiencies, which we can call that from September to February, we have been able to comply to about 75% of those corrective measures. And so we thought that we were doing an excellent job.
While the Mahler report has been challenged by the board, one particular non-adherence has already caused the membership of the union to cash out hundreds of dollars in penalties. It has to do with the recovery of funds paid out to Dominguez in his claim for compensation for defamation of character, as well as legal fees associated with his claim. Today, the president of the board, Everaldo Puck, defended the payout made Dominguez, which also includes $11,000 for a month's pay when he was not in office in 2022.
We challenged that report. We got advice from an attorney, and we learned that that report had really no base. It was wrongly commissioned, very biased. And the governor was aware of it. And that is why he commissioned a second report. The same firm and the same person. And same crap came up again. They tried to balance it, accusing other people, but basically the same accusations against the general manager and some members and other managers, which are now presently suspended also. In saying that the real issue is a bill that we paid to an attorney, which he continues saying that we were paying fees for Mr. Rafael. Now, what is this bill? We said we are going to reinstate our GM using the ballots and using the legal system. And so we had to go to an attorney to advise us in all the steps that we were to take. And that cost the bill, which we paid for a little over $100,000. Apart from that, Mr. Rafael had also gone to an attorney because he was illegally dismissed. And after we were in office, the bill came. Because somebody had to pay the bill, the man's character was damaged with all the interviews and releases and radio talks that were given. The man's character was damaged, and there has to be compensation to be paid. And so the board agreed that we're going to pay compensation and pay for damages to the sum of $75,000. That is what the governor wants us to recall back.
According to Mayet Castillo, the secretary of the supervisory committee, the payment of $11,000 was made to Dominguez since he was illegally terminated by the previous board.
In the act, it states that only the members can do such thing. And apart from that, before his contract was finished, they removed him from that position.
Secondly, if we go back to the terms of my contract have a section whereby it says that upon the termination of the expiring of the contract, that contract should be renewed successively for another 5 years. The roll over. So even if I would have not been working at the credit union, I am entitled to get paid.
Now, my question has to do with that meeting that you all had when Mr. Dominguez was reinstated as the general manager of the institution. Was the membership informed that he was seeking compensation for defamation of his character? Were the members informed that he was going to be receiving, well, the amount that it is alleged he received of $75,000, and were they informed also that he was going to be receiving $11,000 for working the month that he did not, he was not in office? Were members informed about these moves that were being made or consulted before those moves were paid out?
And Kami, I think that I can answer that question. In the meeting, in the general meeting that we had, they did not mention figures. What they did say, seek liars for them to see that you have been wrongly terminated. And the moment that they are giving you a mandate to seek liars, they know that money is involved there.
But shouldn't have they still been informed of the amount? Before this newscast comes out, would you be able to say if members already knew the amount that Mr. Dominguez was paid out, or this will take them by surprise?
I think that is separate, man.
This was a matter that would have not been actually able at the last AGM, because we didn't know that would have been the situation. But one of the things that I can say at the annual general meeting, for the record, is that while it was dispute about the general manager contract and the salary, the member did raise concern, and the member also voted that the general manager should have continued to get his salary, even to the extent to the increment of a 5% on an annual basis. And the member had voted that that should have been continued. So at that point in time, we can say that the members were in favor of the general manager contract and any other expenses that would have been incurred. Nevertheless, we are prepared to go to the membership to disclose all this information. Now, if the members vote that the board have wrongfully taken decisions in paying expenses or in favoring the general manager for compensation, then if the membership that has spoken and we feel that the central bank had not given that opportunity for the membership to decide otherwise.
Okay, understood. So that means that if a meeting is called and the membership is asked and they say that they want the monies to be recuperated, are you willing to give those monies back, Mr. Dominguez, or that depends?
Two things can happen there, Kami. One, I can say willingly I can return the money if the membership do desire, or I will need to present to the membership what will be the legal opinion of my lawyer.
In regards to $101,000 paid out in lawyer's fee, Dominguez says that was not paid out for his defense, as the central bank puts it.
And I want to make it clear that while the central bank is pinpointing, I am the target, that the board has facilitated to have paid that money in claims of lawyer's fee for the general manager. That is totally false. We can provide to the media what has been exactly those professional charges that the lawyer had done, the services for activities that the board have requested, and we have sent that to the central bank. But yet they are assuming that that was money that was paid for lawyer's fee on behalf of the general manager.
The central bank asserts that those legal fees were paid in defense of Mr. Dominguez's position that he should have been reinstated. So the central bank's argument is that it's he who should pay that, not the board of directors. But if I'm hearing you all right, you all are saying those are not the only services provided in those two legal invoices, one for 67 and one for 33, roughly.
There has been no payment to any liar approved by the board of directors on my behalf for any charges from legal claim. This has been strictly for services rendered to the credit union requested by the board that has to do nothing with the general manager.
The central bank claims, however, that at the board meetings of 12th and 17th August, a unanimous decision was made by the board to pay legal fees for two invoices, as we've discussed. The minutes stated, according to central bank, that this amount represented consultation of illegal termination of the general manager, Mr. Rafael Dominguez Sr. The president of the board, they say, confirmed that the legal fees were indeed paid. So it says in the minutes that it has to do with your termination, Mr. Dominguez.
There might have been an oversight of what is in the minutes, but there is no record that can show on behalf of the liar charging the credit union for any services in consultation or any claim that has to do in wrongful termination to the general manager.
Coming up next, judgment on the Larry Gillett case reserved for April 2023. Stay tuned.
Ladies, are you ready for Jesus Fest 2023? The End Times Revival, March 17th and 18th, starting at 6 p.m. Invited guest Pastor Paul Dougherty from the USA.
Hey, listen, the weather's gonna change. Listen, I know it's stormy seas out there, but there's light at the end of this storm. The sun will come out tomorrow. God's going to do something in your future. He's not finished with you yet. Somebody say, this is not how it ends.
Casa Worship Band from Belmopan, Pastor Vicente Franco from Mexico, Psalmist from Orange Walk, Beverly Shiloh. This event will take place at Arthur Street in Orange Walk, in front of Orange Walk Market. Special gifts will be provided. Sponsors, Victory Church from Tulsa, Oklahoma, USA, Hope Alive, Stereo Luz, CVM Church, Pastores y Ministros Amigo del Reino,
Koinonia Ministries.
Buses will be provided for villages. For more information, contact us at 661-7324. Jesus Fest 2023. See you there.
¡Es hoy! ¡Por fin es hoy! A rodar. ¡Sí, señor! ¡Esto va a estar bueno!
Enjoy your favorite HBO original series and movies with
Centaur, your kind of company.
Malaysians expecting a verdict today in the manslaughter trial of Kareem Martinez before Justice Antoinette Moore were disappointed as the court recalled a ballistics expert for further testimony. The expert was asked to discuss the behavior of a fired bullet in the air, potentially impacting someone at distance. She stated that generally speaking, once fired, a bullet comes back to earth due to gravity, but other factors such as atmospheric conditions and the position of the victim are also a factor. In this case, a 9mm bullet fired at an angle 10 feet from the ground at a target approximately 90 feet away was less likely to hit the target given its power and kinetic energy. The 9mm is one of the most powerful of all bullets and is capable of traveling at great distance and causing a significant injury. Today, the media got an update on the case.
The judge would want to cross-check a couple things with the firearm experts because written submissions have been submitted, and if in fact there is additional evidence or information that the court is seeking to clarify any matter, the judge will allow the defense attorney and the prosecution to do what they call viva voce, which is just Latin to say that they will actually oral. Basically, as her ladyship had indicated in the Angriga, that both parties are to make written submissions and they have the choice if they want to buttress their arguments additionally. Today would be the day for that. But in the interim, being the extremely careful judge, the going over the evidence as all judges do, she would need to make sure, because at the end of the day she has to say that I am sure there is no reasonable doubt in the evidence in regards to A or B. So that is where we actually are. That written submissions have been made, that the judge, no doubt in carefully going over every inch of evidence, would like to hear some clarification from the firearm expert.
On the other hand, Corporal Martinez's attorney made intents at placing other weapons on the scene.
The evidence is that the accused person has told the court himself from his mouth that he took out his police-issued firearm and he fired one shot, 10 feet in the air. The evidence, as you know, is also that there were one or two other persons who were in the search based on a complaint from a resort, and they told the court they had their gun. One gone further and said he not only had for him police gun, he had for him private gun. There is no evidence that they discharged their gun. There is no 2-shot, 3-shot fired. There is no 2-shell, 3-shell found. The evidence, as carefully laid out by the senior prosecutor, senior counsel Javier Chan, and even coming from the mouth of the person who is accused, he said he took out his firearm and he discharged one shot. He did not even say that he heard a shot which caused him to react. He did not say he heard what sounded like a shot or more than one shot which caused him to take out his gun. Not even he is saying that, yeah? But we're at a different stage now. The trial judge, having heard all the evidence in the court, having gone over every bit, every ounce, every inch of evidence, is of the view she would like to ask the firearm expert to clarify or to elaborate. And that can only be done in open court in the presence of all parties. Belize is not like some other countries where a judge embarks on their own investigation, where a judge would call somebody. No work like that. That expert, if she's being asked to say anything in relation to her testimony and her test of the firearm and of the shell that was found, which of course you would know and you heard, you would test fire the gun so you can compare what is called the fire imprint at the back of a bullet. So any efforts to try and clear up any matter is done in open court. Or an explanation. Remember that several police officers, a special constable, and a security guard who is a former BDF and a former police, all gave statements and all came to court and testified. Never once did anybody say I thought I heard something that sounded like another shot. I saw somebody take out a firearm. Nothing, we are dealing now with evidence. This is no longer the arena for speculation. The evidence in court is that other persons had their firearms. None of them said they discharged it. None of them could say they did so because everybody was in close proximity to each other. And at that time of night, a gunshot is a very loud sound.
Lucy Fleming, who has been advocating, spoke to reporters today and was disappointed that the sitting Justice Antoinette Moore will not hand down a judgment until April 21st, 2023.
We had understood that today there would be a verdict, but now we're hearing that the judge has recalled the ballistics expert, and she has come in, and I feel that what she's really looking to do is dot her I's and cross her T's. I still feel very hopeful, as the whole family feels hopeful, and I think the nation feels hopeful that we will find justice for Laddie. But I believe that she's a very thorough justice, and she really wants to make sure that she has everything in place before she makes her call. So that's why we're here today.
Partial justice, I mean, because the life cannot be replaced. But I feel very confident, I mean, that we'll get a conviction, you know. Like I said, today is a day we're very anxious because it's either or either, you know, but we have faith and we have hope that it will come our way and we'll get justice, I mean, partial justice for life.
I mean, like we feel and like the family have said, I mean, what is justice? This is a question we ask ourselves all the time. How do you replace a 14-year-old who is lost now? I mean, not lost, but he's not with you in physicality anymore. So how do you ever get justice for that on this earth? I don't know that you do, but you have to hold those accountable for who took his life away from him and from all of us. So that's what we're looking for today.
The Director of Public Prosecutions ascertained that the accused killer, Police Corporal Kareem Martinez, be charged with manslaughter because the killing was neither justifiable or intentional. Information confirmed that the professional called in to validate this opinion indicated that Laddie had to have been shot at about 2 feet away.
I think at this point in time, we were actually sharing that with the public to see what the public response would be to some just really simple measures for the police department to prove transparency. And so the call to justice has been good. We've heard a lot from a lot of people, and I think we need to now seek legal authority on this law and see how we go about it. Now we've been really working towards the case and public awareness. So once we do achieve justice, then that would be our next call, would be to try to get Laddie's law put into effect.
He said he fired his gun, the one which he claimed. He's accused of a very serious crime. That crime is manslaughter. Manslaughter is one step below murder. Murder simply means you have taken life because you intentionally wanted to do so and you did so. You can also take life in a number of other respects. A traffic accident, you were defending yourself, it is either me or him or them, or there are a number of instances. But that officer who is faced with a very serious charge had his opportunity to testify. He gave an unsworn statement on the advice of his attorney, and he said, I took out my firearm and I fired one shot. Shortly thereafter, Officer Choco and the police investigators went with him to the scene and they were able to locate a shell. He did not say, that is not where I discharged my firearm. He did not say anything. He had his day in court. He said what he had to say, and we are now nearing a verdict. And depending on what is that verdict, the judge will do another adjournment, which is the matter of sentencing.
At the moment, Corporal Kareem Martinez is out on bail. The Ministry of Sustainable Development, Climate Change and Disaster Risk Management, in collaboration with the National Climate Change Office, the Forest Department, Ministry of Blue Economy and the Coastal Zone, with funding from the World Wildlife Fund and the Pew Charitable Trust, is currently hosting a blue carbon knowledge sharing workshop. The two-day workshop seeks to engage stakeholders from various sectors on Belize's mangrove blue carbon assessment efforts and findings, as well as the progress towards implementing protection and restoration targets for blue carbon. Discussions surrounding blue carbon, according to Minister of Sustainable Development, Honorable Orlando Habet, should be of concern to all Belizeans.
The workshop is looking at all aspects of blue carbon, the potential that Belize has in making its assessments, looking at what we have from mangroves, and then subsequently to look at seagrass. It is very important because through the assistance of the Pew Charitable Trust, the Smithsonian Institute, WWF, and of course locally, we have had some work done, and today they will be reporting. They haven't done up to yet, but the assessment for our national blue carbon as it pertains to mangroves. A discussion will ensue on continuing with doing the assessment also for seagrass, and hopefully in a discussion we are just having preliminarily, if we also agree that they can look at peat that surrounds those areas, because it also has potential for carbon. But also the importance of our conservation of those ecosystems which are so very important economically. Of course, mangroves are habitats for fish and other marine life. The contribution that it does to mitigation and adaptation to climate change. Of course, we know what it does when we have our hurricanes and how it prevents coastline erosion, and of course the effects of high tides. So looking at all that, all the benefits economically and physically, and for also the survivability of the species, but also very importantly the livelihood of our communities, especially coastal communities.
Ensuring that as Belizeans we do our part to preserve coastal and ocean resources, according to Minister Habet, helps to safeguard frontline communities and infrastructure from climate impacts and build greater resilience.
We have the assessment done for a few years. We have done for terrestrial carbon 2016 to 2018. We also have 2019-2020, which is being verified. And then after 2020, they are called ITMOs, or internationally traded mitigation outcomes. What we already have for 2016-2018 fall under what we had through our Red Plus program. We had to put some of those towards our NDCs, which are nationally determined contributions. And also from the mangrove side, that assessment also looked at what is above ground carbon for mangroves. But what is being presented today is what has been assessed for below ground carbon, the sediment, which is a lot more than what is above ground in terms of mangrove. But very important, because what we have is international commitments under the Paris Agreement, which Belize is a party to. And so we have to make our commitments in terms of emissions reductions and in terms of what we do in terms of conservation. Whatever extra goes beyond that, beyond our ambition, then can be used to market and to monetize so that we can get back some monies to reinvest into nature. In terms of blue carbon, it is new. And so this has recently started off internationally. It is, as we understand, growing exponentially. There's a lot of interest. And so knowing what we have and what we can also contribute from that part into our NDCs, whatever also remains above our NDC commitments can hopefully also be monetized. And it brings back some resources to reinvest, to get something that goes back into nature, but also to provide for livelihoods for these communities.
The matter surrounding the Port of Belize expansion and cruise tourism project has been at the center of discussion within the environmental and business communities for several months. After being denied environmental clearance in late 2022, Waterloo Investment Holdings Limited appealed the decision, prompting the Ministry of Sustainable Development to establish a tribunal to review the decision by DOE. The newly formed tribunal comprised of Madame Justice Patricia Farnese, a High Court judge who will serve as chairperson, Lucy Fleming, a private sector representative with extensive expertise in the business sector, particularly the tourism sector, and Professor Terence Hughes, a science expert with academic knowledge and training in environmental and natural resources management. Today, the Minister of Sustainable Development, Orlando Habet, spoke about the reasoning behind each member appointment and the way forward.
The persons in the business sector will have their own opinions. We really didn't go into doing research on their positions. We were trying to see at the local level, since we were trying to find somebody from the business community that would be as open-minded as possible. I think somebody coming from the business sector, especially practical business, and I think that the person should be able to use their own professionalism in doing their judgment. Also looking at what the tribunal is going to do. It's not just going to do, I don't believe that the tribunal is going to go through the entire process that the EIA went through, through the Department of Environment and NEAC. Of course, this is now up to the tribunal, who is being led by the judge, in making or establishing the processes by which they will be conducting the work of the tribunal. Because there's nothing established within the law, but it gives them the opportunity to sit down and establish that protocol. Terry Hughes, I think he's a professional of world-renowned status, and I think he's also in charge in Australia of their research council. And so I think that at that level, I don't think that you would be able to look at him as somebody who would be biased, having worked internationally at that level.
What would you say of the perception that a three-person tribunal usurps in a way the 20-person in NEAC? The committee with much more members than 3 persons. What would you say of that perception in the public and the criticism that has been forwarded?
I believe that it would have to do more with what the tribunal is going to look at. Because if they're going to look at the technical part completely and then try to re-establish what was being discussed or reviewed at the technical level, then possibly you'd be saying, well, you're looking at 3 persons versus 14 or 15 who sat at the NEAC. But if they're going to look at the process itself, of whether or not it was fair, if it went through a legal process, then that is something else. Then maybe one person can do that. And we see that in the courts where one judge makes a decision over whatever matters have gone to him or her.
And that's the news. We invite you to join us for another newscast on Wednesday, March 15th here on CTV3 and Fiesta FM 106.7. Remember that to read a text version of the news, you can visit our website at ctv3belizenews.com. You can also log on to our Facebook page for current stories at facebook.com/ctv3belizenews or our YouTube channel at ctv3newsbz. Remember to wash your hands and remain safe. From all of us here at CTV3 News, thank you for watching and listening. Good night.